Okay, welcome to another episode of the Amazing Adventure book. The lesson is number 9, Moses, His Power Not Mine. It comes from Exodus 1 through 4. So we finished up Genesis. The book of Genesis, 50 chapters. We saw Adam, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, and now into the book of Exodus. How did you relate to Adam? How did you relate to Noah? Did you relate to any of these Bible characters? Abraham. They all had their little flaws. Abraham started the whole deal with the fall. Noah had his problems after he came off the boat. Abraham said that his wife was his sister. Isaac, he was a good kid. He trusted his father when he went to the altar. That was an amazing story. Jacob was known as the deceiver. God changed his name to Israel and started his whole program through this man that grabbed his brother's heel and took his birthright and did other things that were crazy. But he had 12 sons. One of them was Joseph. Joseph was sold by his other 10 brothers into prison, into slavery, into Egypt. He went into prison, got out. It's an amazing story. Can you relate to any of these stories? Can you relate to any of these Bible characters? That's why I put these Bible characters in the Amazing Adventure book, because they're people that we can relate to. And it also is just a unified story that leads to Jesus, and we'll see that as we move on through the book. But Moses was an amazing story. The Pharaoh was, he was thinking that the Hebrew people were going to take over his kingdom, so he said, kill all the baby boys. The midwives wouldn't do that, so he said, throw them in the river. That's how Moses ended up in the river, but in a basket. His mom put him in a basket. The Pharaoh's daughter found him. His sister was there watching. She brought his mother to nurse the baby, so it was an amazing story. He was raised in Pharaoh's house. He had his flesh. He didn't really know who his identity probably was, and he thought, well, I can rescue my people here, take control myself, and he killed an Egyptian. They found out about it, and he had to flee because Pharaoh was going to kill Moses, and he had to spend 40 years in the wilderness. Well, we hear a lot about 40 years in the wilderness. Jesus spent 40 days in the wilderness, and we'll hear about that on down in the story. But after the 40 years, God came to him in a burning bush, said, go back to Egypt. He was a perfect candidate because he already knew Egypt. He grew up there, but he'd come out, and he obeyed. He went, but he didn't really want to. He went kicking and screaming. He got his brother Aaron to speak for him. And they went down, and that's where the story continues in chapter 5, which we'll see next week, where they all the miracles happen, and Pharaoh eventually lets the people go. But God's story, one unified story through Genesis, Exodus. We'll see in Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, all through the Bible. We see one unified story that leads to Jesus, and I hope you enjoy that. Watch it on Facebook, FaceTime Live, and or Facebook Live, and also on YouTube. Share it if you'd like, and pick up this amazing adventure book. Just go to my website and ask for it for free. I'm just going to send these out if you want one. So feel free to get the book. God bless.